My name is Gokul.
I'm Giancarlo.
And we're from Biomedical. We're a company that develops affordable healthcare technologies aimed particularly at the developing world market. So we started the business back in 2017. Both myself and Giancarlo were doing a master's in biomedical engineering, where we dealt with lots of clinicians, academics, and building technologies that were for the patient. But we realized that if we stop working on it and we submit our masters, and those projects would kind of die. So we decided to take it one step further. We put a company together to develop and commercialize those technologies. So from 2017, when we incorporated the company in 2018, we've been working on it ever since.
The second product that we developed, and that's actually the project that was funded by the CDI and TIA, is essentially the Easy Squeezy. So what we found is that pediatric, geriatric, and disabled asthma patients struggle to use a standard asthma pump. If you ever have one in your hands, just try to put your pinky finger on the top and your thumb at the bottom and try and activate it. You'll find it's super challenging. In addition to that, majority of the inhalers in the market don't actually have dosage counters. So unfortunately, people don't know how many doses are still remaining. You sort of shake it to get a sense, but essentially you don't really know. And finally, we found that 42% of school kids refuse to carry their inhalers to school in fear of being bullied and made fun of, right? So key issues with their existing technology. So the solution to this problem is actually the patented Easy Squeezy. It's a reusable sleeve attachment that attaches to any standard asthma pump. As you can see here, just removing the back housing, putting it back on. You then use the two levers, right? So our patented sort of leverage system that reduces the activation force by up to 5 times. The current inhalers require up to 40 newtons of force, or 4 kilograms of force to activate, whereas the Easy Squeezy reduces that down to 10 newtons or 1 kilogram of force, meaning that kids as young as 5 can now use the asthma pumps, whereas previously only children 12 years and older could. In addition to that, there's a clicking noise that you hear. That's the dosage counter that's clicking away, keeping track of how many doses are still remaining in your asthma pump. And finally, we have animated characters we call the guardians that are essentially making your asthma pump fun, cool, interesting, and really your own.
The DISF funding allowed us to get the Easy Squeezy closer to the hands of patients. So we were able to start mass manufacturing the device. We've manufactured the mold as we speak. We've done 2 clinical studies, one a formative study. We went to the Red Cross Hospital, we interviewed various patients, and then we did a large study with 60 participants where we gave 30 participants the standard inhaler, 30 with the Easy Squeezy, and we swapped them over after 6 weeks. And these independent studies helped verify the clinical efficacy of the Easy Squeezy. Furthermore, we are doing engineering testing on the device in the next couple of weeks, and I think for us, the DISF funding is what allowed us to get from early stage to a product that's nearly ready for the customer. There were a few challenges that we were able to address with the CDI funding. One of the core ones is we found in the medtech industry here in South Africa and globally, it is a very regulated space. And that means that we need to get consultants on board, work on quality management systems, talk to SAPRA on a regular basis. And these are hurdles that we struggled with in the past. But with the DISF or CDI funding, we were able to get appropriate people on board to help us pass those regulatory hurdles and get the device closer to the hands of patients. Funding is quite unique in the sense that the accounting systems or the way it's managed is mainly through CDI. So CDI makes the payments to the end supplier. So what it allows a lot of startups to do is really focus on what they need to do, which is develop the technology and do the technical side of things. So that level of focus is something that's very critical, and anyone that's looking to apply for this funding would highly recommend it, as it's made a big difference in the kind of growth of our company and the growth of Easy Squeezy.
As a startup company as well, capital is very hard to come by, right? So what this funding allows you to do is to go back to your investors and say, you know, with a small amount of capital from a private investment pool, we can actually unlock so much more grant funding that can take the project from here to here. And for us, for example, when the steel prices in South Africa or across the globe went up due to the shortage, we were essentially able to go back to our investors and say, hi, we have DISF funding from the CDI and from TIA to essentially fill that gap between where we were stuck from a funding point of view to get the molds completed, all the way through to getting the molds completed now, and now we have a product that we can then take to market, potentially with a partner. So DISF funding can really support the business in various ways. You just need to identify the gaps in your business or in terms of your project, and realize and understand from a project planning point of view how the funding can essentially support and drive that. But we highly, highly encourage any founder, any startup, any innovator and entrepreneur to essentially apply